Okay, here we go. I'm thinking we live this whole darn time. Okay, I'm just waiting on Crystal, y'all, so I can bring her up on the platform. I did send her over the link. I thought I was live this whole time, child. Okay. We're gonna get it together, don't worry. We're gonna get it together. Y'all good? Greetings, greetings. I forgot we was live from the other page, child. All right, well we here. We are here, and I am just waiting on Miss Crystal Neith, who is going to be doing the interview tonight. We had some technical difficulties starting off. That was on my behalf because it's so hard to hear on. And this is a new phone. This is a 13, and it's hard to hear when I come on StreamYard. So now I am just waiting on Crystal to click on the link and come on in. Oh, I'm so thirsty, y'all. Oh, there she is. Okay. There we go. Crystal?
Yes, I'm here. Hey,
Hey. Oh, excuse
every
me. Let me turn on
everything
my
good
Bluetooth
now.
here.
Okay, cool.
Okay. I was thinking it was already on. Let me know when you can hear me good.
I can hear you good. Do you have your Bluetooth in now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was chatting with you a little bit. How was your day overall before we even get started?
My day was perfect. It was good. I've been waiting on this all day.
Yay, me too. Me too. My day was busy, but like I said, I've been looking forward to this for some time. And I was telling my platform that you've just been one of the realest, most humble people that I have met on my journey as a reader, and just like I know, especially with so much Plutonian Scorpio energy, how much betrayal
Mm,
and trauma and darkness that we already come with this lifetime, which luckily helps us with our psychic ability. But
okay.
when you're dealing with it in a 3D with people around you, friends and family, channeling energy. And of course, I'm going to ask you questions because I want to know how it has been for you. I know that experience can be a lot, and that's why I was like, I want to interview her. And if you all don't know, if anybody from my platform is watching, this woman is a celebrity reader. She is so humble. She tries to act like she's not the shit, but this woman is the shit, man. And she works so hard and just never lets anything stop her, and that's what really inspired me, not just as a friend to want to interview her, but as someone who admires her as well. So yes, if you're on my platform and you are not subscribing to her YouTube channel or her Facebook page, please make sure that you're following her on her correct platforms, because unfortunately the more you grow in this field, the more spiritual attacks and cyber attacks and things like that you get. So please make sure you are following her new page. But anything you want to say, Queen, before I get to asking you questions?
First, I just want to say I am pleased and honored just to, have this opportunity to speak with you and allow you to speak with me. Um, Maybe tell my truth, my real story, and maybe people understand some things better. I don't know. But like I said, it's such a pleasure to just be here with you, being able to do this.
Yes, yes, yes. Y'all check out that altar, baby. Y'all altar ain't got shit on hers. Let's just put it like that. Let's just put it like that. Cause
And you know what? It's so funny, Crystal, because me moving around so much, like some of them are missing arms and little pieces that broke, and I'm so pissed because I love my altar, and having to move around so much, some things suffer.
yeah.
And I appreciate just the compliment on how beautiful I believe it is as well.
Oh my gosh. So it's definitely a vibe. And that's one of the things, you all, if you don't know, this woman is extremely brave. And I am not gonna cry this damn interview because I ain't got time for her energy to be making me all emotional. But I seriously don't know, as someone who admires her work, how she continues to rebuild herself. And I'm lying actually, because I have her astrology chart, so I actually do know, but I just don't know. You know, you use people like this as inspiration to keep going. So, Queen, of course, the big question for me first is, when did these psychic abilities start? And you all, if you don't know, this woman she's a medium. She considers herself an ancestral interpreter, but she channels energy, and I don't even know if she considers it invoking energy or not, but she has done contacted celebrities out the Watusi. This woman has had a million YouTube channels that have been banned, attacked, you know, because when you do the type of work she does, not only do you have the censor of the social media energies out there coming after you, but also other people. So before we even get into the juiciness of all of that, Queen, how did it start for you? When did these abilities begin? And how did how did you even know that you were even capable of doing this and even comfortable putting it out there?
Okay, so I've told this story before, but so I won't tell it too much. I'll just let you know. I've been like this since I was a little girl. Like, honest to goodness, little girl. My mother never made me feel like I was weird. Like I said before, I would invite them to dinner. Like, it was children that I realized as an adult I was playing with the souls of children. And I would make up the names for them, and I would, just knowing what I know of the characters of them then, as an adult, I know it had to be a soul, because I wouldn't know that the child's mother was abusive and an alcoholic, and these things. I can remember telling my mom. My mom was like, "Yeah, okay, like she'll set the plate out, like, okay, well, that's for them. You say they hungry, okay." And so, it developed over the years, but me not understanding or knowing what it was, and then fully, I was kind of more cognizant of it when I turned 33.
Mm, gotcha. The Jesus age, the holy holy. Wow. And so at 33, is that when the career started, or is that when you just kind of start putting it out there to people and friends and family members that you had these gifts?
It was actually when I realized what was happening in my life.
Okay.
I was hearing different things over the years, and like, hey, tell this person that. And I'm like, shh, they're going to think I'm crazy. So I would, like, it's a fire in my stomach sometimes. It's like a burst of energy where I have to do it. Like, I
Mm.
cannot not do it. And so I just started doing that. And by the time I was 33, I was sitting on the couch one day having a conversation with my toddy, and I heard Google
And who is your
stripper.
toddy? Who is your toddy,
My
Queen?
daughter,
Okay, your daughter. Okay, got you.
yeah, yeah, it was her and I heard Google stripper found dead in North Detroit, and I seen a flash of a woman standing with like a leotard on, and some boots, but I couldn't see her face, but I could see like the hair and stuff, a flash in my mind's eye. And I'm like, dang, I'm crazy. I'm going crazy. Like, because I had already been going through so much of wanting to check myself in, feeling like I was crazy, like. So I picked up my phone to Google it. I told Toddy what I heard, and I said, I'm going to Google it. So when I picked up my phone, I also heard, excuse me, I was not a stripper. I was an exotic dancer. So then I started Googling that, and it wasn't in North Detroit. It was in South Detroit. And it was supposed to have been linked to a very prominent mayor and his wife, the murder of Tamara Green. And that's who I discovered who it was.
I just got chills, and I'm not fucking playing. Like, from the right side of my motherfucking head to, whoa, Queen. Yeah, that was an activation for sure. Oh my gosh, it just, and you're blowing my mind, Queen. Not to get off topic. I know we have to stay on schedule, but you have first off, you have what we consider. I don't want to talk in astrology terms. I want to speak in real life terms for people who don't even understand astrology. Queen's drive, passion, anger, the thing in life that propels her, that she will
Can you hear
fight
me?
for. I can hear you
Oh
now. Can you
no.
hear me? You broke up a little bit. Can you hear me?
Somebody was trying to call and it has messed this up. Give me a second. I'm gonna have to click out and click back in. Give me just a second.
No worries, I'm here. All right, you all. I don't know if you all can still hear me. I think you can. We'll wait on Queen to come back in. Hopefully, it doesn't give her an issue. If I need to send her a link or anything like, okay, here she is.
Okay.
Okay,
I
you
have
back.
it on Do Not Disturb, but they keep calling. You know, if you keep calling back to back, it'll ring the phone,
Ain't
which
don't
is
it
so
piss you off?
disrespectful.
Don't it
It's
piss
so
you off?
disrespectful.
It make you want to smack the shit out of somebody because it's
Yeah,
like
because I missed
you know my worth.
everything you said.
No, it's okay. I was just getting started, so it's fine, and it's totally fine. What I was saying is that for Queen's protection, you all, I'm not going to tell these certain placements because people are fucked up out here, and unfortunately, they don't have the integrity that she was born with. So I'm not going to tell her placements as her friend. But what I'm going to tell you is that her energy in her life that is pretty much like her second life force, what drives her, what pisses her off, but what also makes her jump off the porch. It's kind of like when a friend know you got a talent and they like, bitch, get your ass on this stage. Like that part of her chart, which we all have it somewhere in us, is in the energy of the celebrity, the child, the stage, the mother. So when she's sitting here telling me this story, I'm getting chills because we are, if you vibrate at that high octave, you will play out your chart. But some people don't. Queen, can you still hear me okay?
I absolutely can. I'm
Perfect,
just lighting
perfect.
some more candles really quickly.
Perfect. Okay, I was just making sure. But you all, this is nuts to me because when she's talking about these children that she would connect with and this ability to nurture them and to care for them, it's right here. I'm looking at it in her chart. She was literally made to, her sole purpose was to serve the collective, and to be a celebrity of some sort. She has what we call why am I going blank right now? I can't even think of the word that I'm trying to say. But long story short, maybe because I don't need to use a technical term, she has a cluster of her energy sitting in the house of royalty. So, and I don't even think Queen has even really looked into her chart like that. So it's a bit of a
No, I
mind
haven't.
fuck to me that she calls herself Queen, and she must know, soul wise. Obviously, she's intuitive, but she has it sitting right there. And we'll talk a little bit more about some other things. And one other thing I just want to say quickly before I talk to you again is that, yeah, I see that when you say, I felt crazy. I didn't understand what was going on. First off, Queen has her the part of her life that represents the way that she what her mother dealt with when she was pregnant with her emotional life, how what's behind the scenes. She has it in the most optimistic area. So that's why my second question, I know what I'm just curious to hear how she's going to answer this, but that intuitive psychic area is in the house of the occult, but also it's spiced with a bit of optimism and the guru, and not to mention it's mixed with the planet Neptune, which is the planet of the unseen, the psychic. It rules literally mental asylums. So as she's saying,
Mm.
I thought I was crazy, I thought I was nuts, I'm sitting here like, I cannot do this woman anymore because, yeah, you got it right there. And Queen, I will break this down to you privately at a
Okay.
different time. But anyway,
Okay.
it's just nuts. I just had to share that with everyone. So, what do you feel like personally allows you to constantly rebuild yourself after having attack after attack from people? Can you just explain to the people just a little bit how you've had to make new YouTube channels and new platforms? How do you keep getting up after things like that?
Oh, that is so deep. That is a very interesting question. Because I guess when you think on the level of what I think on, there is no plan B. There is no, you know, there is anything other than I made this agreement to do this work for the spirit, and I'm going to honor that. I'm going to live up to that. And even though I come to some sort of resolve inside of myself, like, oh, okay, well, this is just what this is. This is what it's going to be, you know. And people have tried to destroy me and destroy my channels, and you know, in hopes that it will stop me or slow me down in some capacity, but they have often found out they are wrong. I have no choice but to keep going, because for me personally, to stop doing the work of spirit is for me to lay down and die, and I don't plan on doing that.
That's super deep, Queen. And if those of you don't understand, you know, when she's saying that she's had to, you know, rebuild her platforms, you know, and to continue to move forward, you have to realize she's the type of person who she's never trying to get one up on you. She's never trying to come up off
Mm-mm,
of you. She's
mm-mm.
always, and it pisses me off, and I'm going to try not to get emotional because, Queen, I didn't realize how many similarities we have within our personalities, and that's probably why we have always been able to stay cool over the years. But you're always trying to help the next person. You're always
Yes.
trying to expand and grow to help other people, literally putting money in their pockets. And, you know, I get it. I know everybody's perception of us is different, you know, and how we deal with how, you know, how people view us and whatnot. But what's real cannot be taken away. And I have seen you do that time and time again. And I wonder sometimes, because I'm like, at some point, this girl just gonna say, fuck it. And she ain't gonna fuck with nobody but herself. And I see you come back. I literally titled your interview The Phoenix Rising, because
Mm.
you come out of this fucked up place and you just fucking come back even harder, and you just don't let it stop you. I'll fuck it, I'll make another channel. And it's just like, that in itself, most people can't handle one fucked up thing in life, and you just keep coming back for more. And I think it's amazing. You know, so I'm happy to see that you're still open to. I'm sure you're very selective with who you deal with, of course, but I love to see the collabs and the lives that you do.
Gratitude.
Yeah, about the different things going on in the world. I noticed at one point in your career, just, well, I wouldn't say recently. I will let you answer that question. When did you shift from merging your mediumship with foretelling of the future and seeing through the darkness of the world and some of the brainwashing that we've been under? When did that shift happen, and how was that even activated for you, if that makes sense?
Um, that's very interesting. It really, I can't even say that it actually happened. The spirit would tell me things all the time, and I'm like, I can't tell people that. You know what I
Mm.
mean? I'm like, I can't tell people that. And so, people started requesting it, and I would have one of my friends. She was a client turned friend, and she would send me ideas like, "Hey, why don't you start something called like a walk with crime, where you take cases and you look at them and you do what you do." And I did that. And so then
And that wasn't scary. Like, how did you, like, I know you weren't scared, but like, how did you feel? Were you just like, you know what, this is a sign that I need to do it? Like, was it ever scary? Was it ever
yeah, I
like,
sat on that. I sat on it for a good long while. Like, when the celebrity interviews that I do from the spirit, I sat on that for maybe 6 months to a year before I ever did it. The spirit kept requesting it over and over again, and I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna do that, because people go, I'm gonna be under attack, and I don't even know. And then boom, the first time I decided to do it was the Nia Rivera, and that is almost what triggered these people who had been watching me for over a year that I didn't even know had been watching me. And I don't mean my followers, I mean those people who had an agenda to do something to me.
mm-hmm.
I didn't know they had been watching me for a year. And so seeing that Nia Rivera um, really triggered something, because I say when I was a fatty, I wasn't so much of a fatty at that time when I did Nia. I had already had my surgeries, and I had lost a majority of my weight. Like, I had lost a lot of weight at that time. And
Yes, and
so,
you look amazing and beautiful too, by the way. You always have been,
gratitude,
but you know, it feels great when we can lose a couple pounds, get a little snatched. So yeah, I know what you mean. But
gratitude. Yes,
but I'm listening,
but
I'm sorry.
no, you're fine. But so I had someone by the name of well, I won't say her name, but she reached out to me. She was a Geno, and she reached out to me and was like, "I was wondering, had you ever thought about having your own TV show?" And I'm like, "Oh,
And
this
Queen,
is it."
what's a Geno?
A genome is a white person.
Okay,
That
okay,
is a white
gotcha.
person, and that is the name that the spirit told me to call them. Told me never to call them white people. They're genomes, which I
Okay,
later discovered is basically an atom, a nucleus kind of thing.
okay.
Um, so but I was still fat at that time. I hadn't even had my surgery. So that's how I know they had been watching me, because I asked her, I said, "Well, how did you find me? How do you even know who I am?" And she said, "Oh, I found you on Reddit." And so I went to Reddit, and I was nowhere on Reddit. And so I didn't even know why I would be on there, you know. And I figured out it was a lie, and they had been watching me. So when certain things started to happen, it was like, okay, I see they want me to give up. They trying to scare me. They, you know, then I realized, oh, they really out for my head. They want to use me in any capacity. Like, is is it's really weird, Crystal. You know,
Yeah,
coming from a place of me just doing what the hell I do. You know what I'm saying? I just do what the hell I do, and like it's starting to hurt people's feelings. I'm confused.
yeah, yeah. And it's interesting when you think, oh, little old me, little old me,
Mhm.
why would these A-list, B-list celebrities, people who I know, but I don't think in any way, shape, or form know me. And you have to understand, like I told you, with the energy that she possesses, it has the glamour, and it has it's this energy that represents the illusion and the psychic ability, and this energy of Neptune is when Neptune rules like the cameras and photography. And you got to think about how at one time that was demonic, or that was unheard of, to take a picture of something and it be in time forever, something you could look at. She
Mhm.
embodies this energy, and it's also a bit what some people would consider the Christ consciousness, and that's probably why she's constantly crucified and just keeps fucking coming back. But what people don't get is, you have to support individuals like her, because you are putting yourself on a platform, and people think it's all fine and dandy to be a celebrity, or be a celebrity reader, or have a lot of people that follow you. But as I was saying earlier, on my daily readings that I do on YouTube, your energy came through so strong for me, because I pulled the Hermit card, and it made me think
Mhm.
about you, just knowing you personally, because people see you, but they don't know what you go through. You know what I'm saying? They don't know
Mhm.
the lonely walk that we have to live as spiritual practitioners. And not even myself, you specifically. I ain't got the smoke Queen got, y'all. I ain't even gonna lie and say I do. But it's like, she's fearless. She walks right through it. And so really support your people when they come on these cameras. And even if they're a celebrity, you have to be careful throwing negative energy, talking shit about celebrities and things like that, because these were all normal people who have stepped into a new realm. And so it can just be very eye-opening to see the amount of individuals who know you. And this is not made up fairy tale. She has receipts. These are real experiences that she has been through. So
Well,
yes.
that's actually what, to answer that question, that's what made me start doing the world readings, because I said, okay, so they want me to stop. So now I'm gonna tell everything that I see, you know, because they're
Mm,
doing so much dirt to our people. And I said, well, let's just see how this goes as well. Like, I'm gonna see. And when stuff started to come back, validate it. And people were sending me, hey, this happening, what you just said. It's like, oh, okay, got it.
yeah, I love it how you, with that Scorpio energy. I don't know if you know this, Queen, but Scorpio is the detective of the zodiac. It's the CSI, the occult, death and rebirth, the gatekeeper, whatever you want to call it. And it's just interesting because your people go fucking hard for you.
Yes,
Like
they do.
they don't play, man. I found it, Queen. Like, I just be hard and shit. Like, yep. Sending the love, sending the protection, all of that. Do you think that's what, like, for me, I always felt that, I always talk about how, like, I'm an inner city American. I grew up in the hood and things like that. And I've definitely polished myself over the years. how do you stay so real and just true to yourself? And not to say I'm not real or true to myself, but I just, how do you stay authentic? How do you keep the authenticity? I couldn't even get that word out without feeling the pressure of the world. Like, how does like, do you think that's what makes people like fuck with you so hard? Like, what do you think it is that makes people so like addicted and drawn to you?
Oh, dang, that's two questions too.
I'm sorry, Queen. It's a lot.
I'm gonna answer them both though. But I think what makes me go so hard is, excuse me, once I get angered, and sometimes I act like a hothead for people to see on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Because it starts to throw them off if I act in any other way. They're not looking for it. You understand what I'm saying? So they don't even really know what to expect. They expect for me to come out sometimes like a hothead. So that's what I give to them. But really, behind closed doors, there's so much other shit working that it's not even funny. So I'll never stop, because once I get angered, it makes me want to go harder. Like, I've never been one to be controlled. You know what I mean? Never, ever. Have I ever been one that would fall under anybody's, like, this is what I got to do. So I knew, first of all, I knew I wasn't going to be committing no crimes, because I'd have been to jail a few times and I don't like it,
I didn't
because
know
I
that,
ain't on.
Queen.
But yes, girl. Yes, I was a stripper and I'd have been in jail, please.
What?
Um,
I always wanted to be a stripper and never had the body. I didn't know
I
that.
never had the body, but I sure did it. I
But you
did
got
it.
that coin.
And oh, I tried over in Kentucky and at the little white strip clubs, the little Geno strip clubs. Child, it's a whole nother world over there.
Ooh.
But, but shit, I just never stop, and I just don't plan on stopping, because I love my people. Let's be clear about that. I love
Mm.
my people, and I know what we have suffered through, and I watch it, and I watch how they treat us, and I watch how we fall up under their spell, and how they use money um, to call for the deaths of our people on so many
Mm.
levels, Crystal, that it angers me. And I
Mm.
watch them respond to me in real time, and people think I'm nuts, because I say they listening to me and they responding to me. And they're like, girl, ain't nobody talking. Like, yes, they are. Just recently, Crystal, I had said to the live, I said, you'll never see the police kill a Chinaman or his body lay in the street. And what, a week later, they're posting, and it's going viral, that someone captures the police shooting down an Asian in broad daylight, but they're far away, where you could just, it's crisis acting. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
so they're watching, trying to put the shit out, trying to discredit me, and trying to let me know that they're listening. So it's a lot. It's a lot.
Mm.
I pay attention.
That is nuts. And say the term again, crisis staging. Is that what
Crisis acting.
crisis acting? And for those
Hmm.
of you who don't know, if I'm not mistaken, that's pretty much when they fake the funk. They're just making
Yeah.
it seem like something for social media, for the news. And it's very, in this work that she does, it is they fuck with you like that. And that's why, even for you all watching, it is so important for you all to, at the least, follow your heart's desire, know who you are, but do things like cracking your North Node in your astrology chart, because it tells you your soul purpose this lifetime. All of us have a soul purpose in one way, shape, or form. And, when you go after that, you would be surprised how much of a game changer you can be in your life. Okay, so the more you are open to who you are and not being afraid of that, and you put that out there, yes, it can be scary, but if you just keep going and keep pushing forward, as you see, you will ultimately get to where you need to be. And Queen, to piggyback on that, you hear her say, it's the pain, it's the things that anger most people, or that piss them off and that will bring them down, that propels me. And I've experienced that as well, but more so, I would say, in my love life, but also, I guess, in my career too. But that's that, once again, that's that Scorpio energy that she has, the ability to die and be reborn again. But even when you study the energy of Scorpio, they will always say a Scorpio energy has to have a little bit of pain in order for it to propel, because that's what its source is. Pluto is the planet of death, Mars, its ancient
Mm.
ruler, is the planet of war. So the only way you want to fight is if somebody then fucked with you or stole from your family or burned your damn tribe down. So if you have that energy, you will always be a warrior, you know, and so that's why she embodies that. And not to mention, Queen also has a fire moon, and I don't mean like fire, like fire, like fire from like, you know, like, oh girl, you look fire. No, I ain't talking about. She has a fire as in actual like a lighter. She has a fire moon, so she has the ability to snap. She does. She has the ability to snap. She has the ability to get angry. You know, because all fire signs rule passion, anger. You know, what in life gives us our life source. So that's amazing too. I just wanted to say that as well. So, question: what do you feel as a medium has been your biggest challenge thus far?
Oh, that is a good one too, Crystal.
I'm trying, girl. I'm trying to channel my inner Oprah.
I think honestly, it's dealing with the celebrities and not just the ones that have crossed over, the ones that I've spoken with that are still in physical form, breathing like you and I,
Mm,
that are in the sunken place, which is kind
mm,
of what has upset these people. Um, because I was told, of course, like I said before, I was told I opened up the gate where they had put these people into the place. And now that the souls were able to move around, they have been attacking those people who have put them there. So for me, that has been the most difficult thing because what do I do with that? I'll never stop. Now that you're angry, I can never stop. Now I'm angry at you as well because you have put those are my people you put there.
oh my gosh. Um, that is something. So do you feel that you regret ever reading for celebrities, or do you feel like nothing is a regret at this point?
No.
Okay.
Um, I can't say that I regret it.
Okay. Mm, okay. What do you feel is your most like memorable moment that you've had as a psychic reader? And I don't know. I almost I know you're not too fond of the word psychic as well, but just that intuitive. Like, what is your most memorable moment just doing what you do?
Um, Honestly, it would have to be a little girl named Julia.
Mm-hmm.
I was just in the beginning of doing this, and this had to be like, I don't know, like 2013, 2013, 2014. And I was just in the beginning of this, I just accepting it and moving into it. And I had a little girl come to me, and she was a little white girl who died of cancer. And she kept asking me if I would find her mom. And she told me her name was Julia. And I searched and I searched and I searched until I found her mom. And up until my other Facebook page, Cotidia Sam McQueen Dean, before that was, I was locked out of that. I could go into my messenger. I could pull that up for you where I found her mom and I messaged her mom and I said, I think your little girl is reaching out to me. She told me her name is Julia. And she said, oh my God, she does this all the time. Like, what is the message? And it was under Teen Julia. And I said, she keeps doing like skits and voices. And she was telling me that they would put on performances at the hospital because she had cancer for a very long time as a little girl. And they would
Mm.
put on performances and she would do voices and skits. So then when we were all done, I had, found some things up on her where she was at the hospital and she was doing those things. And that kind of, I never forgot that, or Brittany Drexel, which was also a high profile case that ended up coming to me. And it was really weird on that too. But those two, besides Tamara Green, the very first one, were the most memorable for me.
So do these spirits, do they just, how does it work? Like, does it ever turn off? Like, or when you're at dinner or at a club, or like, do they come to you in the night? Like, when do you notice they're most active or try to
Well,
contact
Crystal,
you?
everybody says that not all psychics are mediums, but all mediums are psychics, right? That's what they say.
Mm-hmm.
But I so happen to believe that um, a psychic must also be a medium, you know. And
Mm.
so I know you as the dopest astrologer that's
And
fucking
I'm
out
so
there.
not, when you say that, Queen, I'm like, she is gonna piss off so many people. But I
You are very
appreciate
dope.
you. I have a
I
very
told
unique.
you, one of my friends was like, when I was, I was already in the midst of doing what I do, and she came to me with Boots Tarot and you,
I
and
love
she,
Boots. I've never met
yes,
him, but somebody, as a reader, you got your people who follow you. They'll tell you other
exactly,
and
yes,
I learned early. You're one of the. I only have a couple friends. I got you, Dexter 911 Tarot. I got a few people I fuck with that are readers, but I learned early, being that me and you both have Sagittarius energy, which is very friendly and jovial and Christmas time and give everybody fucking money, right?
yeah,
I went in naive thinking, oh my God, it's other readers. I'm gonna add him as a friend. Like, I finally got somebody who I'm not the only weirdo pulling cards. And I was completely met with hate. So I learned early not to be overly friendly or to reach out. And at the time that I found Boots
happened to me as
Tarot,
well, yeah,
I never even added him. I sent love his way because I believe in sending love other readers' way when you come across them. And he had me cracking the fuck up because, first off, I love a queen to begin with. And,
period, cause period.
and just seeing him, somebody came on his queen. I don't even know if I can't remember who I shared it with, but anyway, he checked the fuck out of somebody. I mean, checked them like I ain't never
Oh,
seen
he
nobody check.
definitely will.
Baby,
Yes,
he called him a
ma'am.
oompa loompa ass. I was fucking dead. Do you hear me? And I was
Boots will
like, I
get you
love
your whole
him,
life.
man. And I know you've met him. You've worked with him.
We did Fox Soul together. And
Mm.
I was already a fan of Boots anyway. Because like I said, she brought him to me and I just was like, oh my God, somebody else is doing what I do. I love this shit. Like, okay, so it's other black people that's out here doing it. And I was I was already on Facebook and I was just introducing myself to Instagram and I saw he was on Instagram and I said, well, I'm gonna stay on Facebook because he got the Instagram thing sewn the fuck up, and I just want him to, be great. So I stayed on Facebook
Mm-hmm.
until people kept saying, "Go to Instagram." So
Yep.
then, so then I expanded over to Instagram as well. But I love Boots, and like I said, we've done Fox Soul together, and to watch him work, and just seeing over the years of the things that he's accomplished, I'm so happy for him and proud of him. Yes, absolutely.
Yes, I am too, and I send Boots love. I doubt he knows me, but I've definitely come across him, and it was actually a very weird interaction. He actually had a similar run-in with an enemy of mine as well, and so it was just very interesting to see that too, that he caught that. But I say the drama for another time. But yes, I love him too. So how do we even get on Boots? I can't even remember what I
Because
asked.
I said, my friend, that's how I came across you, and she was telling me like you are a dope astrologer. And the first time I came on, you were reading, and I'm like, you're so dope, and she don't even know. So when I listen to you, and then you say, I'm a great medium, I have to understand that you are as well, because even though you're reading your deck of cards, your ancestors are speaking to you, telling you how to read these cards. You know what I'm saying? So you too are a dope medium.
Thank you. I do appreciate that, Queen. And it's people like you who have inspired me to just get outside the box. Medium sessions has always been something I've offered, but not anything I've advertised because it's the hardest. I tell even my students all the time who I teach to, medium readings are the most challenging readings to do, because not only are you dealing with people at a time to where they are very fragile because they've just lost someone or this was someone very close to them, but that in itself shows, in my opinion, the highest psychic ability. And I do explore that even more. And like I said, it's individuals like you who just allow me to trust myself even more. And like she said, it's always your energy and your ancestors helping you and guiding you behind the cards. Given that you're really coming from an honest place of being a medium or a reader or a psychic of some sort. So I appreciate that, Queen. And I'm taking that to my
Absolutely.
heart, most definitely.
Absolutely.
Yes. So I I wonder, how do you cope with this lifestyle? Like, what does Queen do like in her free time, or like, are you able to kind of like enjoy yourself and go out? I know right now, Queen, maybe, and for those of you who don't know, explain to them the real background of what you have to go through with the lifestyle that you live, if you don't mind, if you feel comfortable getting into that.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. Like I said, we could talk about a lot of stuff.
Okay.
But for me, it's difficult. Like I said, one, because I love my deities and I love my ancestors and my Orisha, and I love to carry them with me. And like I said, that's one of the things that's hard because they're heavy and I have to pack so many suitcases. And I got to be able to move quick. So I can't always take them with me. So I have like maybe one or two or three with me, and then it's hard if they're getting broken and pieces are falling off. And that upsets me because I love them. And I love to represent them correctly. And so it's all of the moving and packing and unpacking. And I enjoy it because I get to move around. But at the same time, I'm very angry and I'm very frustrated that people keep seeking for my life behind stuff that has been made up in their own mind, or behind the work that I do. And I just recently was thinking about this shit, Crystal, and I got so frustrated because I said, I ain't even did nothing to these people.
That be
Like, they
the fucked up
started
part,
this
don't it?
shit. They
Like, I
started
ain't
this
did shit.
shit. All I did was saying what my truth was. Why not just make people, believe that I'm a quack? But you have come after me, which shows that everything that I say is truth, and you can't stop it because everything that I say be truthful. So they're watching it happen in real time, and so because they can't stop me, they seek for my life, and that is one of the hardest things because I'm always on the move, and I don't mind being on the move, but it's that part, and they always sending attacks and trying to make me distrust people. And so I have a lack of trust with people, and then I have people that make it more difficult by just wanting to be in my life by any means necessary, and not being truthfully them, or not having great intentions, but just wanting sometimes to see their selves come up. And and I was thinking about that as well today, like, like, from the outside, people probably think I'm always a victim. You know what I mean? Oh, here she is, a victim again. Somebody doing something to her again.
If
But
somebody thinks that, and I don't mean to interrupt you, they are not reading you accurately, because if anything, I get warrior, I get, and granted, Queen, who am I, right, to say, but I trust my intuition, and I know my experiences with you for years
mhm,
now, and it blows my mind because people like us, they will try to make us look crazy, or they will try to make it look like, well,
they
damn, if it's
have.
somebody always fucking around. But it's like, no, when you know the multitude of people that you have even more people who are trying to come up on you, take something from you, get money from you, want to
And then
fuck
get
you, all of
angry.
that.
Yes. Oh my God. To speak on that. But they get angry and then they go spreading lies. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? Because this is so the person I just told you I can't deal with you because I know you to be this person. You told me I was a liar. Here you are, this person.
Mm.
That shit it blows my mind.
And I know it affects your love life as well, because you are the type of person who, it sounds weird when you say things like, I'm a celebrity, but you are a celebrity at this point. And
Yeah, I absolutely don't look at myself that way until I can't get my way, or something at a store or some shit like this. You know who the fuck.
do you, bitch, do you, mother bitch, do you know who the fuck I am?
Get red in this motherfucker. You hear me? Get red.
Look, I love it. But I know it's hard because, like, how is it, like, when people, like, how is it dating someone? Because are you also like telepathic? Like, you read minds as well. Am I
Uh,
correct about that?
I don't even know how you know that, but I do, and I don't like to tell people that because I already have certain people, like family members, who don't like to be around me because they say I can read their thoughts, and I'd be like, I can't read your damn thoughts, but when the spirit allows me to, I can absolutely hear what people are thinking that are around me, and they have absolutely no idea that I can hear it. And I
Mm.
go, I've only let maybe 3 people in the world know that. And at the time, let me tell you a story of what happened. I was getting my eyebrows done by this lady named Renee, and
Mm-hmm.
she used to have a shop in Cincinnati, and she was waxing my eyebrows, and my eyes was closed, and I could hear her praying for me in her mind. And
Mm.
when she was done, I said, "Oh, I received that." And she stepped back and looked at me. She said, "Did you hear me praying for you?" I said, "Yes, I did." She was shook. And I don't tell people that because, like I said, people don't want to be around me. But if the spirit will move in that way, I absolutely can. I can recall a conversation that you've had, about me, and I don't have to be there because the spirit's going to always show it to me. Like my daughter, like people be like, "Oh, poor Toddy, this." Girl, my daughter loved me so genuinely, and she thinks I'm funny. And it's been times where I was like, "So what was this conversation when you said XYZ?" And then he said this, and she'd be like, "Oh shit." So her life with me has been a wild one, but she absolutely loves that too. So um I don't tell many people that I can fucking do that, but I absolutely can do that, Crystal.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And your daughter, she has the ability as well, if I'm not mistaken. She's a
Mm-hmm.
reader as well. Now, how many,
Mm-hmm.
you only have one child, correct, Queen?
One biological.
Yes. And so obviously
I have two
she,
daughters, but just one is biological.
okay. Have you seen in either daughters, I know you're, is it the oldest that has the ability? Have you seen it in your other daughter as well?
So her best friend, which is I call my daughter, she's
Mm-hmm.
the oldest, and she's 25, and that's little Tatiana.
Okay.
And she is starting to do tarot because she wants to do tarot. She doesn't necessarily feel like she has a gift, but she wants to learn. And I know everyone has a gift. And so we're just awakening her gift and allowing it. She's allowing it. So
Mm-hmm.
she's starting in that process. But of course, Toddy's been gifted since she was a little girl. Like I could not leave Toddy in the room by herself. We have been laid on the couch watching TV, and something happened on the TV one day, and I was like, "Oh!" And she was like, "You saw that man walk through the wall too, Mama?" I was like, "What? No, no." So she used to physically see him with her physical eyes, and then it just became more of a mental thing, like mind. Um, where we may sometimes still see them in a physical form, but not like she used to. So I see them sometimes in physical form, but not like that. Not so much. But yeah, Toddy's gift has been with her since she was very little.
Mm. So, how do you like when it comes to your love life, Queen? Because I know
Hmm.
your daughter, like you said, she's used to it by now because she has certain abilities too, and you and her relationship is just
Girl.
amazing and beautiful. How do you deal with like love? Like, how do you feel about that? Knowing that for one, you already are this person who's kind of like high profile, and people want that clout, but also the fact that like how do you feel about love? Like, do you feel like it's there for you? You will find your person, or you found your person, or like how do you feel about that, what I consider like that hermit lifestyle that you live?
Well, I've always believed in love, but a lot of times I judge the person that I deal with, if nobody knows this, by Toddy. And Toddy's energy, because that is how gifted she is. Toddy can
Mm,
manifest in moments. People don't know that about her, but she
mm,
is extremely gifted. And even when she was little, I would determine things like that by her, or how her energy is. If I saw something in people that I didn't like that concerned her, I walk away from certain things. And even with my last 2 relationships, she never came out and said, "Hey, I don't like these people." But I would ask her time and time again, and she would give me her opinion. And sometimes it is what she thinks I want to hear. And then I have to read inside of that. And I'm like, she doesn't like this person. I can tell. And so, she'll finally be like, "Hey, listen, I want you to be happy, but XYZ, XYZ, listen." Now, you grown and you my mama, but this is what I see. And I'm
Mm.
like, got it. And then I walk away.
Yeah, because what people don't understand is you all, people say dumbass shit to mediums and readers like us, like, oh, you didn't see that happen. It's like, bitch, do you not
Mm-hmm.
understand we're still in human form? Like, we
Mm-hmm.
still have emotions. And that's why, for those readers out there who are watching right now, it's the same difference how you can do Queen could call me and say, hey, Crystal, I need you to pull some cards real quick on this
Mm-hmm.
situation. When it's just the same thing. And you all know, like, when you date someone, you could be cool and keeping your distance, but as soon as you have sex with them and them feelings get involved, now you cloudy. Now you don't, as a reader, even though we have the ability, and people like Queen who are divinely protected and have so many people who pray for her and love her and send positive energy and protection over her all the time, they will always be okay. It's the same difference of trying to do a tarot reading on yourself. When you are
Mm-hmm.
in the emotion or in that energy of trying to read for yourself, it is the most difficult reading to do. And
Oh yeah.
so, yeah, we still are human, so we have to live that earthly experience. And yeah, I totally agree. I believe in love as well, like
Yeah,
you
that's
said.
why I always will call somebody and like, I need to read it because I just need to validate so I know that I ain't tripping, that I ain't crazy. And I feel this about this person, especially if somebody I'm dealing with, and it's nagging at me. Excuse me, because I am a reader, and it's like, come on, you hear us, you hear us for everybody else, you hear us for you too.
Mm-hmm.
We said what we said, and so like this last go round, I had to call me red. I say, listen, give it to me straight because I need to know. I need to know
Mm-hmm.
plainly. And everything she said to me is everything they had just told me. And I said, damn, okay, right. And then I went and had a conversation with my daughters, and it's like, okay, right, bam. All right, let me go pack my shit.
Mm, and you all, for those of you who don't know, she's not exaggerating when she says that she's had high. I mean, people who we wouldn't even say their names because everybody would know who we're talking about. Um, people try to come for her, like try to kill her, just period. So understand that the work that she's doing, it's beyond herself and her ego. This is a lot that goes into it. And Queen, I know I said I wouldn't kidnap you on this interview, but I have to ask you, what is your I know you said that you definitely are for your people and the awakening of people. What do you feel like your ultimate stamp will be, or what would you feel like your ultimate message is for the world?
Mm. Oh, that is so beautiful. I'm so glad you asked me that. Because honestly, it is time for us to wake up and rise. And I do mean that in the sense of awakening your mind back to its original state because we have fallen, and we're the falling um, angels, if you want to say it that way, and we have been put to sleep with the sleeping giants. And it is time for us to rise back to frequency as where we were, which we have fallen from. Because when we have fell from grace, we didn't fall out the sky, we fell from frequency. And so we fallen in such a way that we have fallen to a deep sleep. We're in a coma.
Mm,
And it is time for us to wake back up to see exactly what's happening. We have been stricken with cognitive dissonance. We have been stricken with Stockholm syndrome. And we are in love in our abusive relationship with the world who does not see us thoroughly and who keeps us by contract from seeing ourselves, which keeps us in a lower state and a lower frequency. And I want us to rise back to frequency so we can escape out the matrix that we all have become aware that we are currently in. And now that we know, like G.I. Joe said, now that you know, knowing is half the battle. So what are we going to do? We got to rise to the occasion because that is who we are as a people. We are not broken. Our wings are not clipped. We can do exactly what we know we can do. We have to shake off the cognitive dissonance and we have to move forward. It's time to go.
It really is, Queen. And it makes me, I mean, first off, what she just said was powerful. I felt that energy extremely in my soul. And I totally agree. We are just at a point now as women, and like you said, Queen, I know you feel like this too. it's so much low vibrational shit out here. You know, I always
Mm-hmm.
joke about how, you know, and I have other things that I'll venture off and do as well within my career, but people really don't understand the integrity that goes behind uplifting your people and awakening them. And of course, you know, it's no offense, but Queen could just be a rapper, or Queen could just, you know, do something, not saying that's easy, but Queen could do something as clickbait or just very low vibrational, but she chooses to walk this very holy, sacred path and be so authentic within it. I've never seen anybody balance. You are the most uh like direct example of somebody who literally embodies love and light and darkness. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
people,
I love that.
it is like, I feel like you're definitely love and light, but I feel like she's also like, bitch, don't get it twisted. I will fuck you
That
up.
part.
Like I
That part.
will, don't get it, you know, like it's not, ain't shit sweet. And I like I said, I love that about her. Queen, please let the people know, let my people know where they can find you, where they can follow you, and if you're currently accepting consultations right now.
So currently my Instagram is the original Queens with an S on Queens, Queens underscore domain one. And Facebook is Quatita Dean. And I tell you right now, there are so many fake pages. You have to be careful of who you're letting, you know, into your social medias. Make sure that it's me, but it is Quatita Dean. I also have the fuck Facebook page. Um, but also my two YouTubes, which I was threatened on one today. They didn't like the live I did last night, so they traced all the way something from back from August and threatened to shut my other page down. So it is A Walk with the Ancestors, of course, and then Miss MS dot A Walk with the Ancestors. So those two pages, as well as my TikTok and my Bigo, but I'm not on those as frequently. And then, of course, I have Black Magic getting ready to happen back up again, and I'm currently working on a book that'll be coming out, Becoming Queen. And so I have a few things going on, but make sure that you're also following me on Eventbrite for any classes or things that I may have on there. But this was such a pleasure to even like just be doing this. I'm so grateful to you.
Oh, I'm so grateful to you as well, Queen. And yes, you all, you know, sign up for some of her classes. Make sure also that you visit her website. And Queen, I was thinking, I know a lot of YouTubers say this, that they are, you know, is it, and I'm going blank, but isn't it a way to where you can stream live? I don't even know if that's possible. I'm trying to see basically if you could have a filter free platform, and I'm thinking of what YouTubers do, but I think they normally do like Patreon, don't they, in order to get the content out, or
Hmm.
without it.
I've signed up for Patreon, but I can't, honest to goodness, I can't figure out how to work it. And
Okay.
I have been signed up for it and I was using it, and I just honestly can't figure out how to work it. But I have so many irons in the darn fire that, so you also asked me about scheduling. So I am scheduling for sessions, but this is the thing. If anybody is watching that I've missed your session, all I need for you to do is text me because I will get to you. Send me a text and put missed schedule or missed appointment, very big, and I will get to you. It may take a week, but I will get to you. I've been making up sessions. I've been refunding money from my Houston event that had to be canceled. So I have been doing a lot. So in between those things, I am scheduling, but I also have a question for you.
Hmm.
Will you pull cards for me real quick, like maybe two or three cards?
Oh, you know the fuck I will. Just let me go ahead and grab this charger real quick, Queen. Give me 2 seconds so I can put it on the
Yes,
charger. Give me a
ma'am. I'm
second.
excited.
All right, let's get it. Yeah.
Y'all be aware of them fake pages. Don't send them any money, man. They are so good and they're so sneaky and conniving and they don't stop.
All right, Queen. I hope you all can hear me okay. Let me grab my AirPods.
Oh yeah, I hear you perfect.
Okay, cool.
I hope y'all got y'all tickets to tonight's class. I do believe it's still some available, and the link will be going out here right after the interview is over. So make sure that y'all are got your pens and papers ready for those who got your tickets. And if you're still trying to get tickets, you're still able to do that up until 7 Central, 8 Eastern. So you're still able to get those tickets as well. So that's for Me Red class and I tonight. Me Red and I class, I should say, tonight in plain sight. I'm telling you, she's going to be busting some heads open tonight with this stuff. So make sure you got your tickets and pen and paper ready.
All right, Queen. I have my phone on the charger, so we should be good. I got the AirPods activated. And what are we pulling on? Do you have something specific that you want me to look into?
I'm gonna just say general, whatever you see really quickly.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna take this one out. I don't like how it sounds with both of them in. Okay. Let me see. And I wouldn't have my OG deck reading this, but we'll use this one. Let's see what we have for Queen. Queen, I gotta go get my other deck. This will not be okay. Not for you.
Okay.
Give me 2 seconds. Hold on, let me grab it.
No problem. I'm gonna light some of this here Palo Santos Caramis. I'm gonna let this burn. I'm gonna even hit this singing bowl a little bit.
Girl, I thought you were saying I'm about to hit this blunt. I was gonna say, Queen, pass it my way.
Okay.
Oh, that was peaceful, Queen. I need to get me a singing bowl
Gratitude.
so bad.
I love it.
Okay. First off, Queen, I'm getting an image of your hands being in some type of it looks like a bowl with oil and herbs. And I'm seeing your hands like you know, like sometimes like when you kind of tenderizing a meat or you're like massaging a piece of meat and you're trying to like kind of get those herbs or whatever it is in it. Spirit is showing me that. So you know, I've never been a proclaimed witch doctor. I am a spiritualist as well, but I'm sure some people might know what that is or what that is about. But what that is saying to me is I feel like there's some type of spiritual ritual of some sort that needs to be done specifically pertaining to the earth. Like, I see you working with these herbs, which, you know, I didn't ask you, which would have been a good question, your spiritual or religious practices, or how far you go on either way. But anyway, what I'm seeing is this, you know, by you working with the herbs, while you working with the plants, doing a lot of grounding right now, this is going to be the big thing that spirit really wants for you, because the enemies of yours try to uproot you. That's their thing. They try to uproot you, but the thing is, you're already a traveler. You're already the spirit and this energy of, as I told you earlier, you know, this, what's the word I'm looking for? An individual who can adapt to anything. You're very adaptable, but spirit wants you to do grounding techniques wherever it is that you are. And it could be anything. It could be something as simple and as silly as spirit is telling you, pick that acorn up and meditate with it, or, you know, grab that mugwort and just burn it right now. Because the point is, it gives me Maleficent vibes, and I hate to get so theatrical, but it is that, just as in that movie, if anybody has ever seen it, she was able to lift the trees up. The ancestors are around you, and they are specifically, I know this is going to sound crazy to the people out there, but I literally heard hiding in the trees. So you have protection all around you, and it's within the earth. And so I want you to really dig and study into the energy of Taurus, and the magical energy of what they would call like a kitchen witch, or an herbalist, and things like that, because these things are going to be very, very important to you, you know, and help heal you. And spirit is showing me you holding your heart with these herbs, or whatever it is that you're doing, just healing the pain and healing the things that people have done to you, because you stand in front of us very, very strong, but there is a lot that you have dealt with, you know, on your path. But there will always be stability. And I was going to say this earlier to you all. Please do not ask for a refund, period, from Queen. If you fuck with her hard. Don't half-ass her. She has enough people doing it to her. If you got to wait 6 months, wait. And I say that respectfully, because the work that she does and the energy that's present here, just give her a break, okay? Give her a break. What she does is already heavy, and she needs it, okay? Especially if you love her. Now, with that being said, oh yeah, for sure. And I won't be long, Queen, because I don't want to. I want to be respectful of your time. But a lot of this that's being presented to me, a lot of this you already know. You know, there is a lot of you know, secretive and hidden powers that be, that you know are against you, but spirit is showing me it's not even that. Like, and I feel very I'm hesitant to say this because I don't want to be disrespectful of assuming that you don't know, because I understand and I know that you see a lot and you feel a lot. But you know, like how we're like, oh yeah, that celebrity feels some type of way about me, or you know, this individual who everybody knows feels some type of way about me. But you don't understand that this is even taking effect on a religious standpoint as well, because you know, I see. I feel like a lot of this is tied into your past life and the ranking that you've always had within the spiritual and religious realm. And it's just it's even individuals at that high capacity that are irritated or upset within this, you know, within this, within what's going on. But one thing I do want to say is that I do feel like financially things will, you know, even if you've been dealing with any type of abandonment or feelings of being left out in the cold, or financial struggle in any way, shape or form, which we rebuke that devil, because we ain't got no money problems over here. You know what I'm saying? But whatever this is, you know, all of that is being lifted, and you're being asked to not feel the need to put so much on your plate. Things will be ultimately moving forward. The spirit is going to have you do some revising revising around how you deal with your emotions, and some revision around how you deal with allowing yourself maybe to say yes to too many things, or to put too many things on your plate, as I said before. I do see some delays in travel, so do get ready for that, Queen. I know that you like you said, you move around a lot. But there,
But
don't
I
be
know what you
surprised if
mean.
some. Yes, yes, yes. You do have some delays there. But what I think in general is what's really going for you is focusing on, mantras that pertain around I am stable, I am grounded, I am here, I am present, I am, indestructible, if that's a word, all of these things that deal with strength, power, grounding yourself. And I don't know where you are right now, but if it's warm or on a warmer day, even just sitting your lower chakras, your root chakra directly in the grass. Of course, you have on panties and pants and things like that, but just really feeling yourself like pulling the energy from the earth as your strength. And knowing that with the energy that you bring right now, spirit is going to be deading a lot of things around you, breaking a lot of dark, negative contracts that people have tried to project on you, or things that people have tried to do towards you. But those things will be cast to the pits of hell, wherever they came from, or sent back. So you don't have to worry about that in general. You were made for this. You remind me this reading, just to finish up, because I don't want to be long, you all, but like they say, they tried to bury you, but they didn't know that you were a seed. So as they bury you or put the dirt over you, you grow and you grow and you keep changing the world. Okay. That's really what I feel just in general, Queen. I don't want to go too
I
far
love
into
that.
it, but I hope that helped a
No, I
little
love
bit.
that.
Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. That was very dope. I appreciate it all. Definitely understood. And I show gratitude, Crystal, for it all, for the session and for the interview. Again, I
Oh yeah.
appreciate it.
Anytime, anytime. It is an honor to be in your presence, and I'm definitely here for it, and I will be keeping up. I know both of us are really busy in our lives, but I try to keep up with you as best as I possibly can. And
Likewise.
yeah, I really appreciate it tonight, and I wish nothing but the best for you moving forward, Queen. You already know, if you need me for anything, hit me up, and I guess I'll call it a good night.
All right. I appreciate you. And likewise, if you need anything, make sure you give me a holler. I see everybody else that has tickets in class here shortly. I love you all. Good night.
Good night.